in Milwaukee. This is the CBS 58 News at 10.
We identified the remains as those of Kelly Dwyer.
You know, we all wanted a different outcome, but now that she's been found, at least the family can find some closure.
The reality is she's a young woman who went missing and now has been found deceased. That's something that certainly is suspicious in nature.
The discovery of body opens up new avenues of investigation.
Finally, yet tragically, some answers tonight for the family of Kelly Dwyer, 18 months after the Milwaukee woman went missing.
We learned today remains found over the weekend have been positively identified as the 27-year-old. A search warrant from last year stated Kelly was seen with Chris Zacco entering his condo building on October 10th, 2013, then leave and re-enter twice, but Kelly Dwyer was never seen leaving again. Her mother reported her missing on October 13th. Her body was found at the end of a dead-end street in the small town of Concord in Jefferson County, and that's where CBS 58's Marshana Hester joins us live tonight. Marshana?
Well, Bill, because of that, this investigation has now crossed county lines, and as a result, will be a joint investigation to bring justice to the family of Kelly Dwyer. Officials here in Jefferson County will be assisting the city of Milwaukee in this case, and at this point, they say it is too early to determine and classify this investigation as a homicide.
The reality is she's a young woman who went missing and now has been found deceased.
Jefferson County authorities say a passerby found the remains of Kelly Dwyer in this field in the town of Concord Friday night.
The remains were located approximately 20 feet off of the road along a tree line.
No clothes were found on or near the body. Exactly how long Kelly's body was outside is unclear, but the Jefferson County medical examiner admits the elements make analyzing it difficult.
In general, we will look for the tissue remaining as well as the way the bones look.
In the end, dental records given by the family helped ID the missing 27-year-old. But one question remains, how did Dwyer die?
In order to get a better idea of if there were any injuries, we would go ahead and send her to a forensic anthropologist to do some analysis so that we can see if there are any injuries that we can find.
Now, the deputy chief says one of the best forensic anthropologist labs is located in Texas. In fact, he says the city of Milwaukee has worked with that location previously on other cases, so it is possible that that is where the remains of Kelly Dwyer will be sent. He also added that it is unclear how long it will be before we have an exact cause of death for Kelly Dwyer. For now, reporting live in Jefferson County, Marshana Hester, CBS 58 News.
Marshana, thank you. This means worst fears realized for the community activist who organized searches in the early days when Dwyer was a missing person.
You know, I'm really sad that it ended this way. You know, we all wanted a different outcome. Whether we thought that we could get that or not is irrelevant now. But now that she's been found, at least the family can find some closure.
Chris Schwartz became personally involved in the case, rounding up volunteers and wallpapering the east side with photos of Dwyer. He even attended the trial of the last person known to have seen her alive, her boyfriend, Chris Zacco. Zacco, as you'll recall, is serving time for possession of child porn found during a search of his apartment after Dwyer's disappearance. He's never been charged in the Dwyer case, but was called by the assistant district attorney on that case a very key suspect in a probable homicide. Investigators say there's surveillance showing Kelly walking into the building but never leaving, which he claims she did after a night of partying and doing drugs. Unexplained, his missing shower curtain and the smell of human remains picked up by a cadaver dog at his building's garbage chute.
The medical examiner said today to get a better idea of the cause of Kelly Dwyer's death, they are sending her body to a forensic anthropologist for further investigation. CBS 58's John Coco live outside the police administration building in Milwaukee tonight with more on what's next. John?
Bill, the chief says discovering and identifying Kelly Dwyer's body opens up all new avenues into this death investigation.
We're hopeful that it'll help us bring her justice as well as comfort to her parents.
Milwaukee Police Chief Ed Flynn talking about the next phase of the Kelly Dwyer case. He says there's still work to be done before that justice and comfort can be accomplished.
Now that the medical examiner has identified the body, our next step is to examine it to see if we can determine cause and manner of death and any other evidentiary material that might be retrieved from the remains.
Dr. Fred Anapol with UW-Milwaukee's Center for Forensic Science says that can be difficult with a body that's been potentially decomposing outdoors for the last 18 months.
Without having seen the body, I couldn't tell you what kind of shape it's in, but the fact that they had to resort to the dental records tells you that it was pretty far gone.
According to Flynn, MPD will now work in conjunction with law enforcement in Jefferson County, where Dwyer's body was found.
As far as the investigation itself, I mean, the body was found in their jurisdiction, but we know where it was taken from, so obviously we'll work together in the most collaborative way to get to the bottom of this.
I asked the chief if Chris Zacco, the man Dwyer was last seen with, remains the only person of interest in the case.
Well, I'm not going to get into that right now. Right now, we're just going to follow the evidence where it takes us.
And Chris Zacco is currently in prison in Dodge County after being convicted on child pornography and drug charges. Live in Milwaukee tonight, John Coco, CBS 58 News.
And John, Kelly Dwyer's family has asked for privacy, but the family's spokeswoman did tell us tonight they are grateful to everyone who helped search for her.
The family feels a tremendous sense of relief, and they really thank the Milwaukee community and everyone who has supported them and Kelly through all of this.
There will be a candlelight vigil for Kelly tomorrow at the lakefront near Lafayette. Tonight, friends have been posting pictures of their candles on her Facebook page in Kelly Dwyer's memory. And we have much more on the Dwyer case on our website, cbs58.com, including a complete history from when she first went missing and today's entire press conference from Jefferson County officials.
Hundreds turn out today to remember 3 people randomly gunned down this week on a popular hiking trail in Menasha. CBS 58's Sashel Saunders has more.
It's in times of tragedy where the human spirit really shines, and tonight the Menasha community showed us that faith really does conquer all.
The community needs this. Things like this don't happen in the Fox Valley.
Hand in hand, people of all faiths stood together in prayer for healing, for a forgiving heart.
It's just so hard to understand how he takes a godly man like that, and he could maybe be used here, and a little girl that's only 11 years old, such a sweet little girl. It's just hard to believe. We're all grieving here, Lord.
Pastors did not try to make sense of the tragedy that took the lives of Jonathan Stoffel, his 11-year-old daughter Olivia, and 31-year-old Adam Bentdahl. Instead, they focused on love and hope.
I don't get it, but that's the hope that we have. Thessalonians tells us we grieve, but not yet without hope. For those who believe.
If only for a moment, it was comfort as families hugged and cried in each other's arms.
Everybody is grieving.
A makeshift memorial filled up with flowers and bears as people crossed over the bridge where the victims took their final steps. On the other side, children played. The community ate together, vowing to get through the dark times.
I thought, is the park ever going to be the same? And having everyone come together like this, you just feel the love of the community and the strength of the community.
Tonight, the mom, Erin Stoffel, is still in the hospital. They tell us she had to go through surgery earlier today. Certainly those prayers will help her get through. In Menasha, Sashel Saunders, CBS 58 News.
We have more information about how you can help the 3 victims. There are links to the GoFundMe pages for Jonathan and Olivia, as well as Adam, on our website, cbs58.com. Just look in the red News Links section at the top of the homepage.
Storms could be brewing after the warmest day of the year so far. Meteorologist Justin Thompson-Gee is in the Weather Center. Justin?
Yeah, Michelle, that's exactly right. We're talking about temperatures today that made it into the lower 80s. Some of us made it all the way to 85 degrees, the middle 80s. By far the warmest day of the year, the warmest since the end of September. 81 in Milwaukee, 85 in Kenosha were the high temps. Now we've cooled off into the lower 70s, the upper 60s. It's really mild out there, and it will stay mild. We've had a few scattered showers and storms just off to our west, a few spritzes and sprinkles, as Michael Schlesinger would say, in Walworth, Racine, and Kenosha counties. Otherwise, way off to our west, a line of storms has developed around the Rochester area and into northwestern portions of Wisconsin. We'll expect that to continue to weaken as it moves our way. So for tomorrow, we're expecting to wake up to a little bit of fog, but staying warm, 63 degrees when you're heading to the bus stop in the morning. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds, and those temperatures stay in the upper 70s. We'll talk more about those storms for tomorrow evening. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then, Justin. Tonight, still many questions after a bicycle ice cream vendor was hit and killed on the south side. Police say 2 vehicles collided near 16th and Mitchell this morning. The force of the crash so strong it pushed one of the vehicles into the path of the 48-year-old man delivering ice cream on bicycle. His boss calls him a hard worker with a family. No word on any citations or charges related to the crash.
New at 10, several local lawmakers planning to propose a bill that would ban abortions at 20 weeks. West Allis Representative Joe Sanfilippo, one of 4 GOP lawmakers who are supporting the bill. Now, a memo said the bill would ban some say a fetus is capable of experiencing pain. Current Wisconsin law bans abortions at about 24 weeks. Well, back in March, Governor Scott Walker said he would sign a bill that shortens that deadline by 4 weeks.
Dontre Hamilton's mother is on her way to Washington, D.C. tonight to share the story of her son and his death.
We have a national problem, and it starts in Washington. They make the laws.
Maria Hamilton is taking part in the Million Mom March this Sunday, just weeks after marking 1 year since Hamilton was killed in Red Arrow Park. Maria tells us at least 1,000 people told her they will be there supporting her and the memory of Dontre.
Now that the doors have came open, we want these doors to stay open until things start to get fixed.
Maria Hamilton says she only recently came to terms with her son's death. Now she sees herself as an activist and believes she can bring change in police conduct and community relations. Happy brides living a nightmare after the wedding pictures they paid for never developed. We investigate next on the CBS 58 News at 10.
A night of champions in Kohler, the Wisconsin Sports Awards, honoring the best and brightest of the state's sports scene. We'll have it coming up.
And if you see news happening or if you have a story idea for us, we'd sure appreciate it if you called our tip line, the number 414-777-5808.
You're watching the CBS 58 News at 10 with Bill Walsh, Michelle McCormack, First Alert Weather with Lance Hill, and Sports with Earl Arms.
Imagine hiring a company to take your wedding pictures. You pay, but after the big day, you're out the cash and you never get the photos.
It's what 2 brides say happened to them after hiring a local man. CBS 58's Sarah Barwatz investigated 2 women's wedding nightmares in tonight's special report.
They plan to show loved ones wedding photos, but Heather and Eric Kirch's mantle is still empty.
The wedding pictures, I was so looking forward to seeing them. It was really extremely stressed over this.
The Kirches hired Taylor Pekachuk with The Wedding Factory in January 2014.
Guy got back to me real fast. I ordered a package. I think it was called the Digipack for like $1,100. I got a slight discount.
The Kirches signed a contract with The Wedding Factory, wrote a check, and a photographer did show up at the August wedding. The Kirches say what did not were the photos after the wedding. And they say communication with Pekachuk trickled to a halt.
Then we started not getting any responses.
Yeah, never any response to emails or voicemail messages or anything.
The Kirches say they tracked down their photographer online.
I called him, left a message. He called me back the next day and said, "Oh yeah, I was the photographer at your wedding. I had a good time. Oh yeah, I haven't been paid yet."
In December of last year, the Kirches say they finally got this email from Pekachuk admitting, quote, "I'm having trouble paying the photographer." Now May, they still have no wedding photos, and another couple had a similar experience.
He didn't pay the photographer, so we don't have any wedding pictures.
Melissa and Troy Derry say that they also paid $1,400 to Pekachuk after signing. But after photos didn't show, she also looked up her photographer.
When we reached out to Taylor, Taylor recommended to her that she would get the payment from me again, even though I already paid him in full.
The Wedding Factory's website had the BBB's logo for an accredited business when we looked it up 2 weeks ago. The BBB says that's not the case.
Because he's not accredited, correct? Or
he is not accredited. He has never been accredited with the Wisconsin Better Business Bureau.
The BBB demanded that the Wedding Factory remove the BBB logo from its website. And as of April 30th, it no longer appeared on the site.
An unauthorized use of our national service mark trademark. And that's against the law.
Court records show that Pekachuk requested amortization of his debts in 2014 and 2015. Both court cases are over. We brought these issues to the man himself.
Taylor?
We found Pekachuk at home watching TV. After asking us to leave, he later called us on the phone.
I've had trouble paying the photographers. That's it.
If they paid you, shouldn't you have directly paid the photographer? Or what happened to the money?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you for sure doing a news story about this, first of all?
Okay.
Are you still going to run this story tonight and use all that footage you got today?
Pakachek then promised to get the Kirches and Dearies their photos in the next 3 weeks.
And I'm trying to work with them on that.
You say you're trying to work with them, but these women are saying that they've contacted you dozens and dozens and dozens of times and you haven't responded to them. How is it that anyone in that situation would feel like you're working with them?
I really can't answer that.
Derry says Pakachek did finally contact her and offered her a discount if she did this.
Re-sign another contract to say that I could not put any negative press in the news, online, and anything that I have put on, I had to retract.
While both women say they still want their photos, they say they also want to make other women aware.
It's your wedding day. There shouldn't be this much hardship.
And you think somebody that works in the wedding business, they want to make people happy and not make them go through all of this.
Pakachek has called our office many times asking us not to air the story, and he says he's trying to make the situation right. Sarah did offer him multiple opportunities to speak with us on camera. As for the women, they still don't have their photos.
Wow. Oh, that was an eye-opener. Justin
Yeah.
Thompson-Gee here with, well, I guess an eye-opening day. It was gorgeous out for once.
Yeah,
like the first time ever.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Yeah.
It seemed like
Right,
it. Made
though?
it all the way to 81 degrees. Brewers had the roof open for the first time this season. That's 2 days earlier than last season, so that's moving in the right direction, right? We're going to start off the weekend nice for tomorrow. A few scattered showers may move in the afternoon and evening, but then things get much better, or I should say much cooler, as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Looking out downtown right now, it's a really warm night. It's very, very, very mild. So if you're getting the weekend, getting a head start on the weekend, tonight's the perfect night to do it. 73 degrees right now in Milwaukee at 10 o'clock under partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Winds have lightened up a bit out of the southwest at 14 miles per hour. Not a lot of humidity. It's really, really nice. So far today, these are temperatures since early this morning. We warned about 10 degrees per hour early this morning from 7 to 8, went from 50 to 60, then went to 69, then went to 75. Then we kind of bounced around in the middle to upper 70s. We eventually reached a high temperature right around 81 degrees, and right now it's still warm. It's still 73 degrees out there as we look at the current temperature map. Milwaukee, actually the warmest spot across the entire state of Wisconsin. That's thanks to Lake Michigan. It tends to keep us warmer overnight, a little bit cooler during the day sometimes, but warmer at night. So precision forecast starting things tonight at 11 o'clock. We're going to stay mild overnight, only lows in the low to middle 60s. Tomorrow, look at this, 70s once again. Isolated chance for a few of us to reach 80 degrees, but it will be overall a few degrees cooler than what we saw today. Then as we head into Friday night into Saturday, that's when the cooler air finally does arrive. And with that cooler air is going to bring with it some showers and some storms. So starting precision forecast tonight at 11 o'clock. Most of Friday morning stays nice. The early afternoon stays nice. Precision forecast trying to bring in a few showers and storms in here right around 1 o'clock. I think that's just a little bit too early. Not until 4 or 5 do we really run the risk for a few of those storms. And then right around 6 or 7, especially some of our southern communities, could see a little bit of shower and storm activity, and then that will linger into Saturday morning. Saturday really just brings with it an isolated chance for 1 or 2 showers, but most of the day on Saturday stays dry, but it will be much cooler, especially compared to today and what we'll see tomorrow. In terms of rainfall, many of us a quarter to a half an inch. Some of our northern communities a lot less than that. You see Waukesha picking up on over an inch, but that's where one of those thunderstorms is picking up. So it really just depends on where those thunderstorms end up going throughout our viewing area. Otherwise, tonight 62, some showers, very mild, a little bit of fog as well, similar to what we've been waking up with the past couple of days. Tomorrow 77 degrees, another nice day, sun and clouds, afternoon showers and storms. Your 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, things get cooler for Saturday and Sunday, warmer for Monday, trying to reach 70 degrees. Some of those storms on Monday could be on the stronger side. We'll track that pretty closely. Rebecca will have the latest updates tomorrow morning. Bill and Michelle?
All right, Justin, pretty nice day for a walk or a drive. And Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett out on the city's south side filling some potholes. Nice day for that too, I guess. He says this year the city has received about 3,300 complaints. That's the lowest it's been in 3 years. If you need to report a pothole, call the city, 286-CITY, or use the MKE mobile app to send a picture of one. Just make sure you have the exact location.
Well, have you heard about the virtual clinic? It's showing great promise at Froedtert Hospital. Launched 2 months ago, it allows people to stay at home rather than spread their germs waiting at a doctor's office. The patient logs onto the website, types in the symptoms, then a doctor or nurse will Skype or FaceTime them back. One mom tells us when she was sick, this new clinic was fast and easy.
I had deadlines that I had to meet. I had to be around when my kids were home, so I didn't have the flexibility to go sit somewhere and wait my turn.
The virtual clinic is for anyone under 65 years of age or who is not on Medicaid or Badger care. Each virtual visit costs $49. Tonight, we're getting our first look at plans for a shared athletics research center between the Milwaukee Bucks and Marquette University. The school says it wanted to give people an idea what it will look like along the 800 block of West Michigan Street. No word yet, though, on a price tag or timeline for construction and completion.
Aaron Rodgers has been busy this offseason. Now more evidence that the Packers quarterback has a pretty good life. This is Rodgers on the set of X-Men Apocalypse in Montreal. The photo is from the Instagram account of Bryan Singer. That's the guy standing next to Rodgers, also the guy who's directing the film. According to Singer, Rodgers' girlfriend, Olivia Munn, snapped the photo. She is playing the mutant Psylocke in the upcoming film. You can see Rodgers on Celebrity Jeopardy right here on this fine station. Shameless plug, 6 p.m. on Tuesday.
Nothing shameless about plugging your station, man.
Well, everyone's going to want to see him, you know, kick some celebrity booty.
Sure hope so. Yeah, wondering if he kicked butt at the Wisconsin Sports Awards.
I imagine he might have.
Yeah, I would think so too. We will take you out there. Kevin Holden, he's live in Kohler. Much more from the WSA's next. Ooh, some bad. Tonight, we honor the best, the very best the state has to offer. All recognizable levels being recognized at the Wisconsin Sports Awards in Kohler. That's exactly where we find our Kevin Holden live, up close and personal with the stars tonight. Kevin.
Yes, Earl, indeed. It was a gathering of the best and brightest of the Wisconsin sports scene at Kohler at a place called The Beacon, where the Kohler Communications exists, and everything that's happened in the state over the past year from a sports standpoint honored tonight as part of the Wisconsin Sports Awards. There was one notable exception not in attendance. You talked about him a little while ago. Bill did Aaron Rodgers on the set of an X-Men movie. Still plenty of star power at this event, though, including many Badgers basketball players. Still look like they're having fun a month after that run to the national title game. Jason Kidd, also a big part of the Bucks resurgence. A lot of happy stories shared on the blue carpet, and it was blue, not red, before tonight's event. Some shared appreciation for a state that's made sports headlines and for a beautiful host spot for these awards here in Kohler.
When you look at the performances for Wisconsin sports, there were a lot of bright spots, not just the Bucks, but you look at Wisconsin and the things that they accomplished as a basketball team. And then when you look at some of the greatest coaches, the coach will be here tonight, so hopefully I can pick some of the things that they've done to help them be successful.
What Mr. Kohler has done in this area is unbelievable. People, I got friends, well, I didn't know they were my friends until they called me and said, hey, can you get me on Whistling Straits? Right. And it's like, God, I haven't heard from you in 37 years. How come I'm hearing from you now?
There were 2 College Coach of the Year awards tonight. Bo Ryan won them both. Some other honors as well. The University of Wisconsin men's basketball team named the College Team of the Year. The Player of the Year, probably no surprise, Aaron Rodgers. A whole lot of stuff going on here, and of course a lot more coming up in the days to come as we relive what happened out here in Kohler at the Wisconsin Sports Awards. Memorable night every year, tonight no exception. Live in Kohler, Kevin Holden, CBS 58 Sports.
Much appreciated. Looking forward to it. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Now to the Brewers. We didn't see a perfect game from them, but Mike Fiers, at least he gave us a perfect inning. Yeah, series finale here against the Dodgers, and yeah, we're talking 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts in the 4th inning. Fiers the 4th Brewer to ever do it. First time it's happened since 2006. 8 strikeouts on the day. And he gets a little help here from Gerardo Parra. RBI in the bottom of the 4th, part of a 2-run inning that tied the game at 3. But then came the 6th inning, and Fiers, he would leave a little after giving up his 4th run. He will be credited with 5. Then the Dodgers get on from Jeremy Jeffords. 2 runs from him, 5 from Rob Wooden, and then 2 on Jonathan Broxton. Yeah, it kept getting ugly and ugly and ugly to the point where it was 14-4 ugly. Brewers the first team to 20 losses this year. They go to LA tomorrow. Now, this home run here by Alex Rodriguez, his 7th of the year, but also a milestone homer. This one puts him at 4th all-time behind the great Willie Mays on the home run list. 661 for A-Rod. Up next, Babe Ruth, 714. Yeah, some folks shaking their head, but yeah, the Yankees won 2-4-3. Packers, though, signing a couple of their draft picks today. Both linebacker Jake Ryan and quarterback Brett Hundley. The latter, the 5th rounder, will compete for a backup job against Aaron Rodgers, a guy who happened to play backup for his own Brett. And speaking of, Brett Favre playing football, flag football, mind you, after his Packers Hall of Fame induction in July. The game to be held on the 19th, supposedly at Camp Randall Stadium, but the school will not confirm, saying nothing has been finalized with the location. One thing for sure, though, it will not be at Lambeau Field because of concerns about the grass being ready for the start of the season. Good football there, I guess. But the most improved player in the NBA, Jimmy Butler, no surprises there, became an all-star for the first time this year. Also upped his scoring average from 13 to 20 points a game. Former Marquette star, we all know him. He beat out Draymond Green from Golden State with 92 of 129 first-place votes. Even Giannis, though, getting a vote. The Greek Freak, he got one. He would finish 8th, though. One first-place vote. That's not too bad.
I'm torn because I like watching Jimmy Butler play, but I really don't like cheering for the Bulls.
Yeah, no, it's not a good thing, but it's like, you know, with Jimmy Butler and Marquette, you hope for Derrick Rose's knee and for all of his injuries to go well. But beyond that,
I want Butler to score 32, but the Bulls still lose. How's that?
Okay. Sounds like a plan. We'll try it next year.
There we go. We'll try some weather when we come back.
Real mild tonight. Temperatures only cooling into the lower 60s. Chance for 1 or 2 showers. Some fog going to be possible. Tomorrow we warm once again into the upper 70s. A nice warm day. Sun and clouds. Afternoon showers and storms though. So if you have any plans in the afternoon, might want to bring the umbrella along. Otherwise, as we head into the weekend, things get a little bit cooler, right around average in the lower 60s. Monday we're going to watch that closely. We're going to warm back up into the upper 60s, even the low 70s. But a few stronger storms might be possible. After that, temperatures staying on the cooler side in the upper 50s and lower 60s.
Much more news, weather, and traffic on the CBS 58 Morning News from 4:30 to 7 a.m. David Letterman is next. Have a fantastic night.